Last week we finished Surah Al-Fatiha. For those who were here last week, we finished the final verse, غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ. This is where we finished. And inshallah today we will begin Surah Al-Baqarah. And as per the practice, inshallah we will go through the translation. And if I feel that some brief explanation is required, we will go through that as well, keeping the time in mind, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Alif Lam Mim. Alif Lam Mim usually is referred to as Anallahu A'lam. Ana is I, Allah, Allah. A'lam is the most knowing, the most knowledgeable. Now Alif Lam Mim is something we called Harufe Muqatta'at, or abbreviations in English. So Alif Lam Mim is an example of that. It's an abbreviation. And in the notes below, it says that letters used and pronounced separately. So Alif, Lam, Mim. And these have actually come in the beginning of no less than 28 surahs. And they start all the way one or more, and the maximum it's reached, meaning 5 letters, it's 5. That's the maximum we found in the Holy Quran. So Alif Lam Mim is 3, and there are similar examples in the Holy Quran. So these are called Huruf-e Muqatta'at. And there's various meanings and reasons why they've come in the Holy Quran. But one reason, which is actually one of the more important reasons why Huruf-e Muqatta'at has come in the Quran, is that these abbreviations are to explain the special and the specific attributes of God. And the surah before which the Muqatta'at are placed, they actually explain the subject matter. So for example, Anallahu A'lam, I am Allah, the most knowing. Surah Baqarah will go into more detail as to what this means. How is Allah Ta'ala more knowledgeable, or the most knowledgeable? Or we might go into the details of knowledge of the unseen. So this is why Huruf al-Muqatta'at is actually very, very important and very essential to give some insight into the subject matter of that chapter. Now, just to give you a brief explanation of this word, a'lamu. Now, if you were to say ilm, for example, that would mean knowledge. If you were saying muallam, muallam, we say a teacher, one who has knowledge, he teaches. Then you have words like talim. We have, for example, the Department of Talim, Talimul-Qur'an, right? So all these words will come from a root word of Ain, Lam, and Mim. In this context, A'lam actually means the most knowledgeable. A'lamu. In Anallahu A'lam, I am Allah, who is the most knowing. There's nothing further than this. A'lam means that's the ultimate. No knowledge can surpass the knowledge and the understanding of Allah the Almighty. So this actually refers to his perfect attribute, that no knowledge will ever come close to the knowledge and the understanding that Allah the Almighty has. ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. This is a perfect book. فِيهِ. ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. This is a perfect book. La raib, there is no doubt, fihe, in it. Hudan, it is a guidance, lil muttaqin, for the righteous. Now we come to the split word translation. Zalika, this. Al Kitab, a perfect book. La, no, raib, doubt, fihe, in, fi is in, fihe, in it. Now when we look at the explanations down below, Zalika is actually derived from za, and za in Arabic means this. This the same meaning really. So Zalika, this. Al Kitab. Now you might see Alif Lam here. I'll just highlight it for your benefit. So this Alif Lam, why do we say perfect with it? Whereas we can just say a normal book. Alif Lam indicates perfection. So the note that I have here, that the article Alif Lam is also used to denote a species in its totality, or the properties of an individual in their totality. It is also used to denote the combination of all attributes in one individual. As one says, Zaydul Rajul, Zaydunir Rajul, i.e., Zayd is a perfect specimen of humanity. In this sense, the words Zalikal Kitab would mean this is a perfect book, or this book alone is perfect, right? So Alif Lam, the simple translation would be the book, but the explanation that I've given down below would give Alif Lam connotation of perfection. So Zalika, this is Al Kitab. What is the Quran? It's the perfect book. And just to emphasize this point even more about the perfection of the Holy Quran, Allah says, La. La is no. In Arabic, if you were to say Naam, Naam is yes, and La is no. Allah says, Zalika al-Kitab, this is a perfect book, La, no, Raib. La Raib, no doubt, Fi in it. Fihe in it. Now let's come to the word Raibun. Raib is derived from Muraba. I'm just reading this part here now. It's derived from Muraba. They say Urabahu, meaning he caused him uneasiness of mind, or he put him in doubt, etc. So Raibun would mean, number one, disquietude or uneasiness of mind. Number two would be doubt. Number three, affliction or calamity. Four, evil opinion, false charge, or calumny. So all these meanings have come from the lexicon of Akrab. So the word meaning raibun has been used in the Quran at different places. But in the sense of doubt, it is always used in a bad sense. Okay. So this cannot have a positive meaning to it. Raibun is always, it will have a deeper meaning of a negative sense to it. So la, no, raibun, doubt, fihe. Now if you just follow me here, you can see that fihe is actually one word here. But when you break it down, it will have two different parts to it. Fi, fi is in, fihe, in it. Now, I will give you some example as I go along. If I say, fil, I'll just do it here. If I was to say fil masjid, in the masjid, in the mosque, or if I was to say fil kitab, in the book. So fi, just to give you some examples so you can remember it in the future, fi literally means in. So la raib, no doubt, fi in it. ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ, This Quran is a perfect book. La raib, there is no doubt. Fihe, in it. Hudan, it is a guidance. Le, for. Lil muttaqin, for the righteous. Now let's go for the next part. Hudan. Hudan, guidance. If I was to write Mahdi, we say Imam Mahdi. Mahdi what means one who guides. Then we say Hidayat. Allah Ta'ala with the Hidayat there. May Allah give them Hidayah, guidance. Yeah. So all these words are actually from the same root word. And Hudan is also one of its words from Hidayat. Hudan is guidance. Literally the translation would be Hidayat, a guidance. Mahdi would mean one who guides. Right? So you can make so many different words from the same root word. But I won't go into much detail for that. Hudan, it is a guidance. Le. Le means for. So if you say Le Allah, Le Allah, lil, this will be Lillah, right? So when we say Alhamdu Lillahi, this is in fact Le Allah. So let's see what comes after Le here. Hudan, guidance, Le for Al-Muttaqin, the righteous. Now for Al-Muttaqin, I've gone into some detail there. Muttaqin, the righteous, is derived from ittaqa, which is derived from waqa. They say waqahu, i.e., he guarded or shielded him against evil. So ittaqa means he was on his guard against, or he guarded himself against. Qabihi means he took it, or he took him. I think I maybe added something there. He took him as a waqaya. So waqaya, yeah, means a shield. Right? This is from Akrab, the lexicon Akrab. So in Arabic, in the religious language, the word means to guard oneself against sins or harmful things, or to take God as a shield for protection against sins. Right? So this is the deeper meaning. Muttaqin, the righteous. Why are they the righteous? Because in a religious or in a spiritual language, the word literally means to guard oneself against sins. And only the righteous people can guard themselves against sins. But you see how in Arabic, the interesting thing is how so many words are made from the same root word. So waqayatun, um, yeah, would mean a shield. But so that you can remember easily, al-muttaqin is the righteous. And this is the important part which you will have to remember. Why is it muttaqin? Because it means to guard oneself against sins or harmful things, or to take God as a shield for protection against sins. And only someone who is righteous can do that. Hudan, it is a guidance, lay for al-muttaqin, the righteous. Now let's move on to the next verse. الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ, who believe in the unseen and observe prayer and spend out of what we have provided for them. Allazina, those. If this was singular, this would be allazi, right? So singular would be allazi. And just the addition of the noon here in the end, you can see, is indicating towards plural. Again, I'm not going too much into the grammatic rules, just to keep it simple in the beginning. Allazi would mean that individual, allazina, those, so plural singular. Allazina, those, yu'minuna, yu'minuna, they believe. So just to tell you two additional points here, um, so that you remember it in the future. If I was to remove the waw noon in the end, so just say yu'minu. Yu'minu would mean he believes. Yu'minuna, they believe. Right? So the waw noon in the end, you can see here, is actually indicating plurality here. And yu'minu without the waw noon would be singular. In the Arabic language is called something we call fail muzare. Fail muzare. Fail muzare is present and future tense, right? So you don't have to remember it straight away, but I'm just giving you some hints as to what the Quranic rules are, the Arabic rules are. Allazina, those, yu'minuna, they believe. Yu'minu, he believes, but the Quran says yu'minuna. Allazina, those people, yu'minuna, they believe. Bil ghaib, be means with, in. Various meanings can be given, but let's stick with. So here it says, who believe in the unseen. In the translation, um, sorry, in the translation, but in the split word translation, it can also mean with. Allazina yu'minuna, those they believe with al-ghaib, the unseen. Now the word al-ghaib, the unseen, is derived from ghaba. In Urdu, for example, if we say ghaba would mean wo ghaib ho gaya. He or it became screened or invisible. He went far away and became separated. So ghaibun means anything unseen, anything invisible or hidden, anything absent or far away. This is from Akraban Lane. So ghaba, he disappeared, he became invisible. So al-ghaib, al-ghaib would mean the unseen. The noun al-ghaib means unseen, the unseen. Again, the alif lam here would again mean the unseen. If you remove the alif lam, just say ghaibun, that's unseen. But with alif lam, it gives it some significance there. Alladhina, those, yu'minuna, they believe, bil ghaibi, in the unseen, wa, and yuqimun. Yuqimun is to observe. Again, just like yu'minuna, this has the same shape, yuqimuna, right? So the waw noon in the end indicates plural. Take away the waw noon, it will be singular. So if you say yuqimu, that's he observes. Yuqimuna, they observe. Yuqimuna is derived from iqama. If you say iqama shay, he set the thing up. We say iqamatus salah. Iqamus salah means he performed his prayers regularly. This is from Akrab. So, we often, I'm sure all of you have heard of the terminology, iqamatis salah, iqamatus salah. Okay. We also in the takbir we say qad qamatis salah. Qad qamatis salah. Qamatis salah means the prayers has now uh, not started, but it's about to begin, right? So it's almost warning you to come and join now. So yuqimuna would mean they observe, and the simple way of remembering this is iqamus salah. right? Because we all have a link to this quite regularly. Iqam would mean he performed his prayers regularly. وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ. Now we come to the word which is very important to all of us in our lives. Yuqimuna salat. Salat means prayer. Simply, it will mean Alif Lam here, the prayer. But just to give you some more further detail to it, so you remember it in the future. As-salah, prayer. This is actually derived from salah. Right? You can see salah. This is what it's derived from salah, which means he prayed, and the noun is as-salah. So the word gives different meanings with references to different objects. When used about God, it means he bestowed mercy to or bestowed praise on. Used about the angels, it means they asked forgiveness for men, etc. And used about man, it means he prayed. In Islam, the word as-salat has generally come to mean the prescribed form of prayer. Akram. So, sorry, I'll just again see how there are so many different meanings in the Arabic language. So when salah is used about God, it means he showed mercy. When it comes for angels of Allah, it means that they sought forgiveness for man, obviously from Allah the Almighty. And when salah comes for man, for human beings, it means that he prayed. So in normal terminology, when we say as-salat means the prayer, the complete prayer. So again, Alif Lam in the beginning shows that salat is something very, very significant. Allah Ta'ala has put Alif Lam with it, as-salat. In the morning azan, you will hear as-salatu khayrun minan nawm. As-salat, that the prayer, khayr is better. As-salatu khayrun minan nawm, that the prayer is better than sleep. As-salat, the prayer, wa and mimma. Mimma is actually min. Min is from, ma is what? Minma. But here it's been combined and you will see this. So when you go up here, it says wa mimma, wa mimma. Right? So mimma is actually min, which means from, and ma is what or that. It depends on the sentence. Mimma, from what? Razaqna. Razaqna, this will be we have provided. Razaq, razaqna. Normally, you must have heard the word risk, risk halal, risk haram. Risk is a provision. So here from razaka, i.e., he provided or he gave. Risk means a thing whereby one profits or from which one derives an advantage, any article of food, any means of sustenance, anything bestowed by by God on man, material or otherwise. Akrab and mufradat. So in simple ways, in simple terminology, rizq means a form of sustenance, a form of provision. So razak, this is razak, razakna. He, razakna would mean, sorry, I've highlighted the wrong part. This razakna would mean the noon alif, which I have highlighted in red, is indicating to us we have provided. And this is fail mazi. Fail mazi is past tense. We studied again, inshallah, as the weeks go, you will remember these terminologies. These are the most basic ones in Arabic. So here you studied fail muzare, which is present and future tense. And here razaqna This is fi'l mazi, we have provided or we provided. Razaqna, we provided, we have provided, whom, them. Yunfikun, they spend. This is fi'l muzari. Just like this, yuqimun, they observe, yu'minun, they believe. Here you will see yunfikun, they spend or they will spend. So yunfikun, they spend is derived from nafaka. They say nafaka shay, i.e. the thing became spent up or reduced. So it's quite simple. So yunfikun is they spend. If you were to read the verse again, allazina yu'minuna bil ghaibi, who believe in the unseen. Again, you can be flexible with the translation. You don't have to memorize it to the letter. Who believe in the unseen, but you can say those who believe in the unseen. وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ, and they observed as-salat, the prayer, or they observe prayer. وَمِنْمَا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. Not minma, because there's tashdid here, we'll say وَمِمَّا. But in fact, as I showed you here, mimma is actually minma. وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ, and from what we have provided whom, them, yunfikun, they spend. Now we go to the next verse. وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِمَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ وَمَا أُنزِلَ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ وَبِالْآخِرَةِ هُمْ يُوقِنُونَ. Let's quickly read the translation first. And who believe in that which has been revealed to thee. Thee means you, which has been revealed to you, to thee, and that which has been revealed before thee, and they have firm faith in what is yet to come. Now let's look at the split word translation. Wa and. I'm sure you're familiar with this now, you will not forget wa. Wa means and. Walladhina, and those. We studied allazina as well before. If you take away the noon, alladhi, it means that individual, but allazina means those, plural. Walladhina, and those, yu'minuna, they believe. This is present and future tense. Yu'minuna, wallazina yu'minuna, and those who believe. Bima, this again will be bima. You know how we studied minma before? This would mean be with ma what? If I just take you up again here. Alladhina yu'minuna bil ghaibi. Bil ghaibi. In the unseen or with the unseen. Here is the same thing. Bima. In what or in that. With what? I mean, it depends on the sentence, but you understand how these prepositions can be used to take the sentence in a certain direction. Walladhina, and those yu'minuna, they believe. Bima, with what? Unzila, or in what? Unzila has been revealed. Now unzila has been revealed is derived from nazala. Nazala means he descended or he came down. So the literal meaning of the transitive from unzila would therefore be he sent down or he caused to descend. I believe this will be anzala. Anzala would mean that he sent down or he caused to descend. So unzila means which has been revealed. Nazil, जो नाजिल किया गया. وَالَّذِينَ, and those يُؤْمِنُونَ, they believe, bima, in that or with what, unzila, has been revealed, ilayka. Ilayka, again, let's look at how we can split this word, just to again make it easier for you. Ila means towards. Ilayka is actually ilaka. Ila is towards. I believe we did it before. If we say no, we haven't done it yet. If we say um ilal masjid, that means towards the masjid. So ilaka means towards you. Ka is you, and the plural of ka is hum. So if these terminologies, they inshallah, because there are so many of them in the Holy Quran. If I give all of them to you now, you might forget them. So I'll just keep you engaged by giving you one or two examples. So if I was to say laikum, towards you, but the you will be plural. And if I take away the mim ilaika, that is towards you. Ila means towards, ka is you. Walladhina, and those yu'minuna, they believe, bima, with what unzila has been revealed, ilayka, towards you. Wama, and ma, what unzila has been revealed, min, from, qablika. Again, you can see there's a ka here. If you were to say qablika, qabl is before. Ka again, the same, qablika, before you. If you just if you were to say qablikum, before you, but the you would be plural. Min qablika, before you, from before you. Now, one thing I think I forgot to mention earlier about unzila is that when this word of revelation comes, figuratively, however, the word has come to be used about anything bestowed by God on man, because God being high, everything that comes from him may be said to descend from above. So unzila would mean something which has been revealed, i.e. a revelation. A revelation comes from above, comes to the messengers of Allah, and hence there's that figuratively term that something's coming from above and coming or descending down below. So unzila, which has been revealed. Men, from, qablika, before you, wa, and bil akhirah, and in the hereafter or with the hereafter, whom they, yuqinun, they have firm faith. Yuqinun means to have faith. So this is derived from the word ayqana, which again is derived from yaqana, i.e. it became clear and established. I'm not sure how many of you are Urdu speaking, but most of you would have heard of the word yaqeen. Yaqeenana, yaqeenana, mujhe us par yaqeen nahi hai. That is all from the same root word. Yuqinun, wo yaqeen rakhte hain. They have firm faith. Yaqeen is firm faith. Right, so I am I finished the class for today, but I'll quickly recap the translation that we have done today, and hopefully you will remember some of it. Alif Lam Mim, for those who were at the beginning of the class, these are called abbreviations, and they have actually come in the beginning of 28 surahs. towards the beginning of 28 surahs. And these usually, they refer to the subject matter connected with the divine attributes for which the muqatta'at stand. So the subject matter of that surah as well is somewhat connected to the huruf muqatta'at, abbreviations. In the translation here, it would mean ana, I, Allah, Allah, A'lam, the most knowing. Now look at it from this perspective. It is like Allah the Almighty is introducing himself. Ana, I am Allah, A'lam, the most knowing. Then he presents his book. Zalika, this Al-Kitab is a perfect book. La Raib, no doubt, fihi, in it. So I hope you can read the translation as well above here, just here. And I will be translating both, using both the split word and the one you can see above. La Raib, no doubt, fihi, in it. Hudan lil muttaqin. Hudan, it is a guidance for who? Le, for. Le al-muttaqin. It is guidance, le, for al-muttaqin, the righteous. Now I will go through it again quickly. So al-muttaqin would mean, you always hear of the word al-muttaqin. What does muttaqin mean? So in the spirit, in the religious language, this would mean to guard oneself against sins or harmful things, or take Allah as a shield for protection against sin. And ordinary human beings won't be able to do that unless they truly have the protection from Allah and they seek the protection of Allah, and that makes them the righteous. Al-Muttaqin is the righteous. Hudan, guidance, lil muttaqin, for the righteous. And who are the righteous? Allah now tells us who the righteous people are, how we can identify the righteous people. Alladhina yu'minuna bil ghaib. The first sign of someone who is righteous is allazina, those yu'minuna, they believe bil ghaibi, in the unseen, or with the unseen, whichever translation is fine. This is the first sign which has been demonstrated, which has been given by Allah the Almighty. Secondly, wa yuqimuna salah, and they observe. One meaning has been given. Iqamus salah is meaning he performed his prayers regularly. Right, so here you can give it a connotation of performing or observing regularly. وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ, and they observe the prayer. وَمِمَّا, and mimma, from what? Mimma, from what? Razaqna, we have provided. Who? Whom? Them. Yunfikun, they spend. Now if you were to this is the way Allah Ta'ala explains. Allazina yu'minuna bil ghaib. That's the first sign which has been established. Yuqimuna salat, they observe the prayer. Wa mimma razaqnahum yunfikun. This is the key point here. Wa mimma, and from what we have provided to them, yunfikun, they spend. Interestingly enough, if you were to just if the Quran just said yunfikun, for example, they spend, that would have been fine. But the fact is that Allah says, wa mimma, from what razaqna, we have given, we have provided them. So Allah Ta'ala is almost reminding us that this is a sign for the righteous, that whatever we provide to them, whichever provisions we give to them, they don't always keep it, with them and say, this is my earning, this is mine to keep. In fact, the righteous people, wa mimma razaqna, whatever we provide to them, the third sign of a muttaqi, of a righteous individual, is they spend out of what Allah gives to them. Wallazina, and allazina, those yu'minuna, who believe, they believe, bima, with what or in what, unzila, has been revealed, nazil kiya gaya, has been revealed, where? Ilayka. Ila is towards. Ilayka, towards you. Wama unzila min qablika, and ma what unzila has been revealed min qablika, from before you. Qabl is before. Qabl is waqt, before time. Before you. Qablika, before you. Wa, and bil akhirati hum yuqinun, and in the hereafter hum yuqinun, whom they yuqinun have firm faith. In Urdu, normally we say yakin karna, to have firm faith. Yuqinun is to have firm faith.